My name is Dietland Vanderscaff, and I'm here in my studio in Westbrook, Maine to do a leaf stencil demo for you on behalf of R&F Handmade Paints. And I'll be doing that demo using some of their new colors that they've released for 2020. Those colors include an encaustic Provence blue, nickel yellow, ancient gold, magenta earth, Prussian blue, turkey umber pale, and Indenthrone blue. The new lineup of Pigment Stick colors includes ancient gold, the Indenthrone blue, nickel yellow, and the turkey umber pale. The Prussian blue, the Provence blue, and the magenta earth already existed in the Pigment Stick line. To get started, you'll need a few things. You'll need a panel. I'm working on a panel that I've already prepped, but it's an ampersand encaustic board panel, and this is what I use for all of my work. And these panels are fantastic. I don't have any issues with air bubbles. They're a collaboration between R&F and ampersand. You're also going to need a sheet of wax paper, a spoon, or whatever kind of burnishing tool that you prefer to work with. I like to use a potter's needle for when I need to pull the leaf back out. And of course, you're gonna need some leaves. These were just picked on my way into the studio, and you'll just notice that these are a nice thick leaf and they have beautiful veins. Anything delicate and fragile or that doesn't have nice thick veins like this isn't going to work as well. To begin, you want to prepare your panel. I'm working on an ampersand encaustic board panel here that I've prepared with several layers of encaustic medium and then 2 or 3 layers of the Prussian blue. It's recently warmed and fused, so I'm ready to go. I'm going to take my leaf and place the veiny side down on the panel. On top of that, I'll place my sheet of wax paper and begin burnishing from the inside out. Now the stem may be a little bit thicker than the rest of the leaf, so I don't want to press that down too hard because it'll smush the wax on either side. I just need to get an impression from the stem. And I might check it once or twice just to make sure that all of the edges of the leaf are fully burnished into that wax. When it looks good, I'm going to come in with my other color, and here I'm using the Provence blue. I'm just going to go around the edges of the leaf. I don't need to get too much on top of the leaf. In fact, if I do get too much paint on top of the leaf, it'll make it a little harder to pull out. I also want to pay attention to where my stem is. Try not to fully cover that with paint because that will also make it harder to pull out. You might even forget where it is. I'm going to come in with my heat gun and lightly fuse around the edges of the leaf to make sure that the Provence blue is bonded to that Prussian blue underneath. I don't want to fuse too much here, and I don't want to fuse too much directly on the leaf because then the paint may travel underneath the leaf and I'll lose those clean edges. And come in one more time with a light burnishing. And now I'm probably ready to pull my leaf out. This is where I find it's handy to use your needle tool. I can get right underneath that stem, lift it out, and then gently pull the leaf out of the wax. I got a pretty good impression there. Maybe a little bit of seepage underneath the side of the leaf, but all in all, beautiful. If you want to do more than one leaf on your panel, you'll want to do one at a time. Otherwise, they'll cool too quickly, and then you'll have a harder time pulling them back out. Now we're ready to begin working with Pigment Stick. Whenever I work with Pigment Stick on the surface of an encaustic painting, I let the painting cool and harden at least overnight. This allows me to use a little more pressure when I'm wiping the Pigment Stick away from the surface of the painting, and I don't end up smushing or smearing any of the delicate lines. I take a small amount of the blending medium and rub it on the surface of my painting. Once the surface is fully coated, I'm ready to start working with my pigment stick. I'm going to try a Turkey Umber Pale. When considering what color to use, you want to think about contrast. What will offer you a lovely contrast with those veins? I'm going to take the pigment stick and just draw right into the leaf. You have a few options here. You could coat the entire surface of the panel, or you could just try and keep that pigment stick in each leaf. How much pigment stick you wipe away will also determine the final look. So I'm going to just start wiping some of it away, and I'll get a little bit on the surface of my panel. I'm taking care to get it right up into the edges of each leaf. If you find that there's an area that has a little too much of the pigment stick, you can come back in with some blending medium, reactivate the pigment stick, and then begin to wipe it away again. I often get questions from my students about whether or not it's necessary to fuse the pigment stick on the panel. And it's not. It will cure in air over time, just like regular oil paint. I hope you enjoyed this demo, and if you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to us at RNF.